Tonight on Lost Gear, I fly a plane, crush a car, and blow up a car. Tonight we'll be looking at this beauty, the Invading Declasse, famous from many Vinewood movies and loved by pretty much everyone. Let's get inside and drive around a bit while I talk a little more about this car. Okay, what's happening here? I don't think this is supposed to happen. Help? Wow, holy cow, what happened there? And this is not Los Santos, and why does everything look so dated? Let me just check what's gone wrong. Oh well, seems like we've traveled back in time, back to 2001, and we're in Liberty City. Seems like we have to make the best out of it and just do another episode here. The first car we're gonna take a look at is, maybe this one parked here. This is the Bravado Banshee. This one is actually still available nowadays for just $105,000 or $126K if you want the topless version. Wow, a topless Banshee. How unnerving. Second, we have the Ubermacht Sentinel from back in the day, which is also available nowadays for $650K or $487,500, dependent on how much of a criminal you are. Talking about criminals, most famously, this has been used by the Liberty City mob back in the day, because why use one of the many fancy Italian sports cars if you can just use a boring Sentinel, right? Third, another vehicle seen very often around the streets of Liberty City, especially in drive-bys, is the Declasse Stallion. Today this one costs just $71,000, but unfortunately you can't have these cool flame on the car anymore, which honestly is a big shame. And finally, another car used by one of LC's gangs, we have the Stinger. This one is the most expensive of all of them, with a whopping $875,000. This one has been used by the Yakuza, and it seems like they were also the richest gang if they were able to afford hundreds of these cars. And let's make the best out of this weird situation and see what we can do with these four here on unknown grounds. And well, there's a scrapyard where you can crush these cars, which is especially good for your Mafia Sentinel, especially if you have some loose ends in the trunk, but unfortunately you won't have your car afterwards anymore, which is a big minus. Another thing that definitely stands out in Liberty City is the huge football stadium of the Liberty City Cox. And yes, it is called football, not soccer for you Americans out there, because it is a ball played with feet and not an egg mainly thrown with hands. Anyways, let's see if any of these cars is good enough to grant us free admission for the best seats in the house by breaking in. Unfortunately, none of these managed to get over the fence, so we have to break in using a plane. Oh, wait a minute, why don't you pull up? Oh my god, I think our engine just died. Oh. And we're back in LS. That was scary. But being back here now, we can do a final test, I guess? which one of these four is the fastest on our Ford Zancudo test track. And here we are on our Ford Zancudo test track. On the top left you see the Stinger GT, top right the Stallion, bottom left the Sentinel Classic, and on the bottom right is the Banshee. And off we go, and it's quite a good start from the Banshee, who is already into a slight lead that, wow, it seemed to extend out of the first corner now, and it probably will be the first one to reach the Pisswasser chicane. There we go. Sentinel Classic in P2, and the Stallion and the Stinger GT very tight between these two. Now a slight lead for the Stallion, as they're now all entering the rather technical bit. Still a slight lead for the Stallion, but it is very close between these two. Nothing changed between the Banshee and the Sentinel Classic. These two pretty much settled in P1 and 2, but the other two, between those, it is so tight, it is incredible. They are pretty much equal. Maybe a slight lead for the Stinger GT now, but can it keep it towards the finish line? The Banshee is over the line now. Second will be the Sentinel Classic, and who will come third? It probably will be the Stinger GT, but it is so tight between these two. And let's actually see where this puts our four contenders on our Lost Gear Hall of Fame. No changes at page 1. We have to go all the way down to page 4 to see the first of the cars that we've seen today, and this is the Bravado Banshee with a 1:13.15. Quite a good average time for a sports car. On the next page we see the Sentinel Classic with a 1:15.7, and then we even have to go down 2 more pages to see the Stinger GT and the Stallion, which are just divided by 0.2 seconds. So this was really close between these two, but well, there we have it. And what do we take from that? Never trust a Declasse, ever. And on that wisdom, we end our show. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe, and check out the Lost Gear playlist if you want to see more. Also, don't forget to leave a comment with which cars you want to see next. Until then, goodbye.